What is Psi Intensity? What's the difference between status damage and elemental damage? I finally did deep research, so in the next few minutes I will answer these and some other important questions. Also I will show you detailed tests and explain how all these stats actually work. The reason why you need to know this, is that without this knowledge you won't be able to fully realize the potential of almost any weapon in the game. The very first thing we need to understand is what Psi Intensity actually is. Simply put, Psi Intensity is a stat that affects elemental damage. As you know, there are 4 elements in once human: blast, frost, shock, and blaze. All these elements are linked to the corresponding keywords: unstable bomber, frost vortex, power surge, and burn. But the thing is, Psi Intensity affects each of these keywords differently. If you aim at any weapon keyword with the cursor, and press X, you will get a list of all the keywords. Here you can see how much Psi Intensity affects each of them. For example, unstable bomber basically deals damage equal to 100% of Psi Intensity, while power surge only 50%, and this is very easy to test. If I equip the Soaker Outsider assault rifle, which has a chance to trigger power surge when you hit an enemy, I will deal 62 units of elemental damage, having 125 Psi Intensity, which confirms the calculations. If I equip the Desert Eagle Jaws and trigger the unstable bomber effect, the explosion will deal approximately 125 units of damage, which means 100% of Psi Intensity. In practice, damage is almost always lower by approximately 5 to 10% because it's affected by the distance of the explosion, as specified in the keyword description. Psi Intensity also affects blunt melee damage, and might affect specific weapons differently, according to their unique features. For example, the Boom Boom machine gun triggers an explosion that deals damage equal to 300% of Psi Intensity, but it's not the unstable bomber effect. The element of this explosion is blaze, and since the weapon increases blaze damage by 30%, this explosion deals 488 damage instead of 375. However, the sacred knowledge I'd like to give to newbies, is that the enhancement and calibration level of your equipment increases your Psi Intensity, and thus increases your elemental damage. If you're trying to copy some good elemental build from YouTube and it doesn't work well for you, this is one of the reasons. Also, this is the reason why beginners should focus on non-elemental keywords, which don't depend on Psi Intensity, such as Fast Gunner or Bullseye. Such builds are simply less demanding. The next interesting question: what is status and elemental damage, and what's the difference between them? According to my tests, these stats work in the same way and multiply with each other. This is also very easy to test. Let's say I have 225 Psi Intensity. If I equip mods to increase elemental damage by 18%, and status damage by 20%, the calculations will show 159 units of power surge damage. In the practical test, we can see exactly this damage. I also tested Frost Vortex, Burn, and Unstable Bomber. The results of these tests are on your screen, and as you can see, the calculations on paper correspond to reality. From these tests we can make a simple conclusion: when you have a choice between status damage and elemental damage, you choose the one that is higher. For example, the status enhancement mod is obviously better than the elemental overload mod, because it gives you 20% instead of 18%. This statement has also been tested in practice, so you can see the result. I am almost sure that there are exceptions though, but I haven't discovered them yet. Check out the playlist on your screen for more Once Human guides, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the explanations of other stats. As always, thank you for watching and, bye.